Hello my dear students. Today we are going to start a programming language that is Python. Python is given in your syllabus for artificial intelligence, so we are going to study Python. So first of all we will see how we can open Python. So here I am using Windows 10, so I will just click here and then here I will try to find P. Here you can see Python 3.10. Might be you are using an older version. You are getting 3.9 also, but that is okay. So here when we will click on the drop down menu, we will see IDLE Python 3.10. We will open this IDLE, Integrated Development and Learning Environment. So you can see we have opened it. This is a white screen and it has two modes. Right now I am working on in the interactive mode. After some time we will see the script mode also, but right now we are working in the interactive mode. Okay, so this is the way. Now if you are using Windows 7 to open Python IDLE, you have to search for Python GUI and here you will see IDLE. Like this it will be written. So if you are searching this IDLE Python GUI, then you will open the IDLE in Windows 7. So these are the two methods by which we can open IDLE. Okay, this IDLE can work as a calculator. So let's see how we can use it as a calculator. So we can do basic operations. Suppose for addition 30 plus 20, if I will directly write like this, I am getting the answer as 50. Likewise, if I will write 30 minus 10, I will get the answer as 20. So in the interactive mode, directly we can do the calculation. For multiplication, we use asterisk. Asterisk for multiplication, or sometimes we call it star also. And slash is for division. So this is, I am going to divide 10 by 2. So I will get the answer as 5. So you can see very easily I can use Python IDLE as a calculator. Okay, so now we are going to start writing some functions. The basic function that we will use will be print function. Print function is used to print anything. Either you can print variable or you can print any string also. So first of all I am going to print a string. Whatever you want to print, you have to directly write inside double quotes. So I am going to print the name of the school. So you can see I have directly put the name inside double quotes. So first I have written print and then bracket, small bracket. You will find the small bracket above number 9. So you have to go for shift and then you will press 9. So you will get the small bracket. Here you have to go for either single inverted comma or double inverted comma. I am using double inverted comma, that is near enter, left side of enter. Here also you need to go for shift and then you can go for double quote. So double quote and then I will write whatever I want. Whatever you will write inside double quote, whatever you write inside double quote is called string and it will get printed as it is. Means if I will press enter and I will run my code, then Nazrat Academy will get printed as it is. So whatever you write inside the double quotes, it will get printed as it is. Whatever you write, suppose you write number also will work as a string because you have given it inside double quote. So 34 will get printed. Here it is a string, it is not a number. So whatever you write inside double quotes will get printed as it is, no changing. Whatever you write inside double quotes. Okay. Now for example, I have taken one variable a and I have given the value as Gaya. Now if I will go for print and then I will write a, then you can see Gaya got printed. So if you want to directly print anything, you have to write that in double quote. If you want to print any variable, value in a variable, then you have to just write the name of the variable. So what I did actually, I wrote this value Gaya, and using this assignment operator, I assigned the value Gaya to A. So now A was having the value Gaya. So when I printed A was having the value Gaya, that's why Gaya got printed. So if you want to directly print something, you have to write in double quote, or if you want to print variable, then you do not need to put double quotes. You have to just write the name of the variable. Likewise, we can do so many other things also. So one by one we will study these things. So first we are going to see some operators. We have seen so many operators. These are called operators: plus operator, minus operator, asterisk operator, slash operator. Slash is for division, asterisk is for multiplication, and these two you know, minus for subtraction and plus for addition. We have some more operators. For example, 10 slash slash 3. This is known as floor division. This is known as floor division. So let's see what happens in floor division. First of all, I will go for division. 10 by 3 gives you the value 3.33. So when we will divide 10 by 3, we will get the answer as 3.33. But if we don't want to get the decimal value, we want only the integer value. So instead of going on for single slash, I will go for double slash. This is called floor division. Instead of division, I am going for floor division. So what will happen, instead of giving the decimal part also, it will only give me integer part. If I will go for the floor division, it will give me the integer part only. See, I got 3. So if you will go for double slash means floor division, you will get only the integer part. It will divide the number 10 by 3, but it will give you only the integer part. The decimal part will not be shown. Okay. Likewise, we have one more operator for remainder. That is called the modulus operator. So 10 modulus 3. This is known as this percentage sign is above 5 and it is known as the modulus operator. Modulus operator, also known as remainder operator, it is also known as remainder operator, will give you remainder. So 10 modulus 3 will give you the remainder when 10 is divided by 3. So I will get the remainder as 1. So we saw so many operators. Plus is the operator for addition, minus for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, slash for division, double slash for floor division, and modulus for getting the remainder. And these numbers 10 and 3, these are called the operand. These are called the operator, modulus operator, slash division operator, floor division operator, and the numbers on which they work are called operands. So here 10 modulus 3, 10 and 3 are operands, and this one modulus is the operator. Likewise, we have plus also as the operator, we have minus also as operator. These are also operator, plus, minus, slash, asterisk. These are also called operators. So now you know what are operators and what is the meaning of operand. We have seen print function also, how using print function we can print something directly. Okay. Now we are going to change the mode. Right now we are working in interactive mode, but now I will change the mode and I will open the script mode. For opening the script mode, I have to create a file. So I will click on file and then I will select this new file. So now the mode in which I am working is the script mode. This is the script mode where I can write more than one line of code. In this mode, here I can write only a single line of code, not more than that. So if I have to, and one more thing, when I have executed the code, then after that I cannot delete it, I cannot change it. Once executed, anything once executed in the interactive mode cannot be changed once run. So let's start the script mode. Okay, now here I am going to save my files. I'll click on file and then here save, or you can go for the shortcut Control plus S also. I'm just clicking on save and here you can see now I am able to save my file. So I'm going to save my file on desktop. I will give one name to the file, suppose class. Instead of class I will give the name of the school, Nazrat Academy. Now we give some extension to the file. Extension is very important. For Python file you have to give the extension .py. If you will not give the extension, it will not be saved as a Python file. So if you are going to create a Python file, then you have to give the extension .py. .py is the extension of Python file and then click on save. So here you can see our file is there, nazratacademy.py, and here you can see I have the file here also. This is the sign of Python. So I am in the script mode now, and here we will try to understand some more concepts. We have understood the concepts of operator. We have seen some operators like plus for addition, minus operator for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, slash for division, double slash for floor division, and modulus for getting the remainder. Now we have one more operator that we are going to see. This is for getting the power. So suppose I am going to print 2 raised to the power 3. So for power I will use double asterisk. It means 2 raised to the power 3. 2 raised to the power 3 means 2 into 2 into 2 3 times. So I will get the answer as 8. So for writing the power or exponent, we have this operator double asterisk. So this is used for exponentiation or writing the power. So now I have written the code and I want to execute it. So I will just click on run. And after that, either I will press the F5 shortcut or I will click on run module. So I have written something which I want to save. Source must be saved. I will click on OK. And you can see I have got the value 8. 2 raised to the power 3. 2 into 2 into 3 will give you 8. So likewise, we can run the command in the interactive mode and we can write it in the script mode. Okay. Now suppose I am taking one variable. Suppose y is my variable, and with y I am writing, suppose, the name Nazrat. Okay. So now if I want to print, I know that if I want to print the variable, I do not need to put double quote. I just need to write the name of the variable. So I have written the name of the variable y. So I will get the answer as Nazrat, because Nazrat is now saved in y. So when I print y, it will print Nazrat. So now I have one more method to print. Suppose I want to write one sentence and after that I want to print the value. So what I will do, suppose I will write like this: the name of the school is, and after that I want to get the name. So what I will do, this is in double quote, so it will get printed as it is. Then I will give comma and then I will write the name of the variable, and then here I will write the variable name. So now it should print the name of the school is, and after that, because I have given comma, it should print y is Nazrat. So let's see what will get printed. So you can see the name of the school is, this was the message which I showed. So it is as it is, and after that I written the variable was having the value Nazrat, so it's printed the same sentence. So there are two ways by which we can have the variable directly print and then variable, or we can write one sentence and after comma I can also write the variable. So whatever I want, I can go for that. Now these are the ways by which we can print something directly. Whatever we want, we have printed. Now suppose sometimes we take some value from the user, and after taking the value from the user, we want to print. Okay, so we will first create a variable. Suppose y is the variable, and in this variable, suppose I want to take some input from the user. So for that our function will be input function, and I want to show some message, because if I want to ask something from the user, he should know what I am asking. So what I am asking will be displayed in the message. So I want to get the name of city. So this will be my message. Okay, so what will happen when the user will write the name of the city, because I have written input here. So input will take the input from the user and save it in y. So whatever data will be given by the user will be saved in y. So y will have the value that is given by the user. Now after that I want the computer to print y, means whatever value is given by the user should get printed. This is my message that will get displayed. After my message, user will write something, and whatever he will write will get saved in y, and then I want the computer to print whatever is given by the user. So I will go for run module. Okay, and here I am getting the message which I showed, name of the city. Whatever you will write in double quotes will get printed as it is. Why do we write message? We write message so that user will know what we are asking. Whatever you want, you can write in double quotes. I have the name of city. So now user knows that, oh, someone is asking the name of the city. Okay, so now user has given the name, and what I did, I told the computer to print the value whenever the user gives the value. So whatever value was given by the user, this value was saved in y, and now y was getting printed. So now y is printed. So see, whatever user has given is now printed. So this was the message, name of city, and this message was asking the name of the city. Now the user gave the name of the city. Whatever was given by the user was saved in Y, and then Y was printed. So likewise we know how to get the data from the user. Now when you write input, whatever you write is saved as string. String means it is saved as string. String means it will be taken as word, not as a number. So if you want to take number, suppose I want to take age, okay, age of the student. So age will be in number. So for that I have to tell the computer that I want number. So for that I will write int, int, int. Int means integer. It means that I am asking, int will be used for integer. Integer means number without decimal. Number without decimal. Okay, so here whatever we will write, it will be saved as integer, means as a number. So run module and then OK. Now I have made one mistake. So here you can see I used two bracket. I opened two bracket, 1 and then 2. But I was not closing this second bracket. So it need to be closed. If I will make a mistake, then I will get error. Run and then run module and then OK. Here you can see it is asking for the age of the student. Suppose I have given the age as suppose 15, and because I have written to print, it will print the number 15. But here it is not a string, it is number. So likewise we can tell the computer that whatever we want integer, means without decimal. So we have asked the computer. Likewise, if we want to go for decimal value, if we want to go for the decimal value, then we have to go for float. Float means decimal value. If I want to get decimal number, then I will tell the computer that I want float. Float will tell the computer that I want decimal number. So suppose this is my message. If I will not change the message, then same message will get printed, age of the student. So I want to change the message. I want the message to be like this: salary of employee. Salary can be in decimal. So this will be my message, and whatever the data will be given by the user will be saved and then it will be printed, because I have written print. If I will not write print, then it will not get printed, only it will be saved in Y. So suppose I leave print here. So what will happen when I will go for run, then it will only ask for the number. Suppose I give the number, it will get saved, but it will not be shown. Only 2000 was saved in Y, but it was not shown because I didn't ask it to be shown. So if I want it to be shown, so I have to print the value, whatever value we get in Y, then it will get printed. Salary of employee, suppose 2000, and it got printed because I asked for the print. If I will not ask for the print, it will not print the result. So we got it. Y equals to float input salary of employee. So we saw first function, that was input, how to take input from the user. Input function is used to take some data from the user and then display the data. Directly if I will write input, then it will mean that I will take any value as a string. If I want to take number also, then I have to write int and then I will write input. If I want to take decimal value also, then I will write float and then I will write input. So if I want to take number from the user, number without decimal, then I will write int before input. If I want to get decimal value from the user, then I will write float before the input. So this way I can take input from the user. So when we are in the script mode, we can go for more than one line of code. So let's see how we can go for more than one line of code. We have seen two lines of code. Suppose I want to take all the values, and I will need some more variables also. Okay, suppose first I want to get the name of the person. So I will write a equals to input and then my message, name of the student. Okay, so whatever value will be written by the student will get saved in the variable a. Okay, after that I want to get the age of the students. I will write suppose b, or you can write a, b, c, d, whatever variable you want to create. For age I will get int value because I want it to be in the integer. Then input, and after that my message, age of student, double bracket because I have opened two brackets. Suppose I create one more variable with the name c. Okay, and here I want to get the contact number suppose, or get the marks of the student. So marks we will be basically get in decimal. So for decimal we go for float. So input and then my message, I want to get the marks obtained by the student. Okay, two brackets because I have opened two brackets. Now I will print whatever value will be given by the user will get printed. So I will first go for print. After that I want to write like this, your name is a. Name will be saved in a, so I will go for a. Now you do not need to write the code again and again, just we can copy paste also. Copy, control plus c for also we can go for, or control plus v for paste. So print we have used, instead of a it will be b, and here we have to write the age of the students. I can write your age is, whatever I want I can write, your age is b. Whatever age will be given by the user will be saved like this. Again in C I have asked for the marks, so marks obtained by you, this is my message, obtained by you. Here I am showing this one. Marks are getting saved in C, so I will go for C. So this is the message which will get printed, your name is, and then whatever name will be given by the user, then your age is, then whatever age given by the user, and third one, marks obtained by you, will be whatever given by the user. So let's run this code, so we will be able to understand this. Run module. Now first of all, name of student, suppose Amar. then age of a student. Amar is getting saved in A. Age of a student, suppose 15. Marks obtained by the student, suppose marks obtained are 30 marks. So when I will press enter, you can see your name is, and after this message, whatever name was given by the user Amar got printed. Your age is, he gave the age as 15, so we got 15, and marks obtained by you 30 in decimal because I have given float. Okay, so likewise we can run multiple lines of code at the same time. Okay, so we have seen operators, plus, minus, asterisk, slash, modulus, exponent, float, division also. So these plus, minus, asterisk, slash, all of these were using two operand. For example, 10 plus 2. Here 10 and 2 are operand. 10 and 2 are operand, and plus is the operator. Plus is the operator. You can see two operands are compulsory. If you will not get two operands, you cannot do calculation. So those operator like plus, minus, asterisk, slash, those operators which need two operand are called binary operator. They are called binary operator. Operators that need two operands are called binary operator. But there are some operators which need only one operand also. For example, minus 100. Here minus is also an operator, but it is asking or taking only one operand. So here minus is unary minus. So those operators which need only one operand are called unary operator. So we have unary operator, operators that need only one operand are called unary operator. There are two unary operator, unary minus and unary plus. Okay, so let's see unary plus and unary minus. Okay, suppose I write a equals to minus 100. Here minus is a unary minus because it is having only one operand. So if I will write print a, because a is the variable, so we will not give double quote. Okay, for writing variable we don't give double quote. Okay, let's run this, see what I will get. I got the answer minus 100. So if you will go for unary minus, you will get the same result as it is. Likewise, if I will go for plus 100, then again I will get the result like this. Okay, so a equals to plus 100, so I got the value, print a, run module, and then I got the answer as 100 plus 100. So whatever you will write here will get printed as it is, because it is not going to change the value. Plus 100 will be plus 100, minus 100 will be minus 100. Okay, so here it is unary plus. So we have seen both the unary operators, unary plus and unary minus. Now let's use all the operators at the same time. Suppose I have taken two values, x I have taken as 10 and y I have taken as 5. Okay, now I want to print, first of all I want to print the summation. So sum of, I will write sum of, this is my message. After that I want to show the number. So number is having the value 10 and 10 is saved in x, so I will write x, sum of x. Okay, after that I want to again show one message and, so I will just write it in double quotes, and then I want to show y. You have to give comma if you want to go for variable. So sum of x and y, then I want to show again my message is, and for that I will go for addition, so x plus y. So whatever the number is, it will get printed. Number in x is 10, 10 will get printed. Number in y is 5, so I will get printed 5. And x plus y means 10 plus 5, that will be 15. So likewise we can go for other also. So I'm just copying it, because the same message we are going to print again and again. Sum of x and y. So here I will go for subtraction of x and y is x minus y. Then again I want to go for product of x and y is x asterisk y. Now sum of product of, now we can go for division. Division of x and y is x slash y. Slash is for division. Here you can see all of these are using two operand, that is why they are called binary operators, because they use two operand. So division also we have done. Now we will go for floor division. Floor division of x and y is x slash slash y. Okay, remainder. For remainder we will go for modulus. So remainder of x and y is x modulus y. Then again exponent also, or power of, or exponent of x and y is x asterisk y. So everything will get printed: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, floor division, modulus, power, everything will get printed. So let's run. Saved. Okay, and you can see the answer. Sum of, and then I wrote here x was having the value 10, so 10, and is my message, it will be as it is. And then we have y, so y is 5, so 5 is, after that I have written x plus y, so it will add 10 plus 5, 15. Again subtraction of x, 10, subtraction of 10, and y is 5, so subtraction of 10 and 5 is x minus y, means 10 minus 5, that is 5. Product of x and y is product of 10, x is 10, 10 and 5 is 50. Division of 10 and 5 is 2, and here you can see decimal was given, but when we will go for floor division, decimal is left, so only integer part we will get 2 only. Remainder of 10 and 5 is 0, because 5 can divide 10 2 times, no remainder, 0 remainder. And exponent of 10 to the power 5 is 100,000. So I got all the results. Okay, so here we have seen the binary operators also and unary operators also. Now we can go for one more type of operator. These are called relational operators. So let's see the relational operators also. So just I am deleting this, and then I will go for run module, and I will work in the interactive mode now. Now here suppose I have the value x equals to 40 and y equals to 30. So I have taken two variables, x with the value 40 and y with the value 30. Now we are going to use relational operators. Relational operators tell us the relationship between two variables or two numbers. So what are these relations? It can be greater than, it can be less than, it can be greater than or equal to, it can be less than or equal to, it can be equal to, or it can be not equal to. Not equal to. So these are the six relational operators: greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to. So let's use them. One by one we will see what will be the result. Suppose I go for x greater than y. That is true. Yes, x is greater than y. X less than y. False. X is not less than y. So you see I am getting the boolean values true or false. Computer will tell me if x is greater than y or not. X is less than y or not. X greater than y, yes, true. X less than y, no, false. X greater than or equal to y. So I will get the answer as true because yes, x is greater than y. I am checking if x is greater or equal. If any one is true, it will give me the true. If x is equal to y, then also true. Or if x is greater than y, then also true. X less than or equal to y. So I will get the answer as false because x is neither less than y nor equal to y. X equal to y. For equal to, we use double equal to sign to check if it is equal to or not. X equal to y, no. If I will write like this, x equal to 40. So I will get the answer as true because yes, x is equal to 40. So x equal to 40, yes, true. Now these are very easy to know, but I am going for some more. So x not equal to, this is one new, x not equal to, x not equal to y. X is equal to y. What is the result? X is equal to y. False. So not equal to actually changes the value, flips the value. X equal to y is false. So I will get the answer as true because not equal to will flip the value, change the value. Okay. So we have seen the relational operators also. Now we are going to see string operators. There are two operators which work with string values also, plus and asterisk. Plus and asterisk work with numbers also, but they can also be used with string. String means word or alphabet also. Whatever we write inside double quote works as string value. So string values can also be added and multiplied. So what do you mean by addition and multiplication? When I say addition and multiplication, we will be joining. For addition actually means joining the two strings together, and asterisk or multiplication will mean we will be replicating the same word again and again. So let's see both the operators. So let's take one value. Suppose I have taken the value as Nazareth, A as Nazareth, and B I have taken one more value with the name Academy. And here I am going to use the plus operator. So I will write print A plus B. Directly I can write a plus b, because here a is also a string because it is having double quotes, and b is also a string. So what will happen? They will join a and b. So whatever is there in a and b will get joined, but only if it is a string value. So run module, and then here you can see I got it joined. A was having the value Nazareth, and then academy was joined. So plus works as addition operator. It joins two or more than two also string values. That is why we call it concatenation operator. Here plus is also called concatenation operator. Now if I want to go for asterisk, asterisk will replicate the same value the number of times we want. Suppose I want Nazareth to be written 3 times. So I will just write the variable which is getting the value Nazareth, then asterisk, and then 3, because I want it to be written 3 times. So run module, and then you can see Nazareth is written Nazareth 3 times. So if you want to replicate a string value a number of times, so you will go for asterisk. Here it is doing replication work, that is why it is also called replication operator. So asterisk is the replication operator, and plus is the concatenation operator that is used to join two strings together. So one is for joining two strings, that is concatenation operator. So plus is also called concatenation operator when it is used with string values. It joins two strings together, Nazareth and academy combined together.